Hey, well, welcome to Signal Paths. I am Ryan, and this is
Doug.
And we are going to talk about this last weekend we spent in Dallas at the Southwest Audio Fest, where Doug got to show off NewTaik Acoustics Ghost 1 loudspeakers. I would say that they were definitely the first public debut.
Yes.
And this is also your very first audio show. So, first of all, let's talk about how that even came about, because that was actually kind of a weird thing. So how did this all start?
Basically, we were heading back from Tulsa, where we showed the speakers at Randy's house to a Tulsa audiophile group in Oklahoma, and we got the call asking if we would be interested in showing the speakers, and I kind of did a backflip in the back of my head going, I'm not really ready yet. And but I was like, there's no time better than the present, I suppose. And so we decided to do it, and that's how.
Yeah, so Gishelli was originally supposed to have that room.
Right.
And the Sherry and Gino weren't going to be able to come up for the show. And so they offered it to Jeremy Lockwell with Prosper Cables.
Prosper Cables, yes.
And Prosper's like, hey, I've heard a little bit about these NewTaiks, and I'd really like to bring them in. Mm-hmm. And so big, huge shout out to Jeremy Lockwell with Prosper Cables. His cables are excellent. They're custom.
Yeah, they're pretty neat.
They're
because
nice little cables.
You can basically call him, and if you want an inch and 5 3/4 cable, he'll make it.
That's right.
It's not like by the foot. It's by the, if you want to go down to millimeters, he could probably help you.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat in that respect. And they're well built. He uses some really nice cables that are used for all sorts of purposes, right, but they make really good
and
audio cables.
They're high quality, and they're actually a really affordable cable.
They're not bad at all. I mean, I think they start in maybe $100 range.
Yeah,
right around
$150, somewhere in there.
And they top out at I think his most expensive cable is like $1,000 or something, maybe.
Yeah.
And so I mean, in the big bad world of audiophile cables, that's actually affordable.
Right. Yeah, and they perform really.
Yeah.
Really
I was happy with them. They did well with my speakers.
So huge shout out to him. But Gishelli sent all of their electronics. They sent their G
block bundle block amps. They're Class AB. They look like a Class D amp because they're really tiny, but they're actual Class AB, and they're 300 watts into 4 ohms. So I mean, they got some stuff to them, and then
and they also sent the torque DAC.
The torque DAC, which is another really cool thing because it's one of the first I know of anyway of a modular home DAC. Not a it's not a headphone DAC. It's a home DAC that allows you to swap in different DAC chips and then the op amps as well. So you can put a Sparco's op amp or a Burson.
Yeah.
And then
it's a really cool little setup.
Really
so
neat.
Anyway, big thanks to the Gishelli folks for handing it to Jeremy, and then Jeremy giving us that opportunity to do this. So we didn't even know how to load these in the truck.
We had to do a makeshift rack and load them in there and hope for the best. And
we did pretty well.
A couple battle scars, but nothing major.
So anyway, well, let's talk about the show itself. This is your first one.
Yeah.
Obviously, you just said you were doing some backflips in your head, but as you're there, what's setup like? What?
Honestly, it's not bad. It's a reminder. It's kind of similar to what I do at home. You just set them up, and then you take you do take measurements, which I brought my measurement gear, but come to find out, honestly, we found a pretty good spot for them right off the bat. So. I really didn't need to resort to that because I've got these things tuned to my ears, so I know when they sound good. It was nerve-wracking to a certain degree because I've been a spectator at shows for years, but I've never showed at a show.
And it's pretty easy to go into a show and knock on systems or just say it's great. But
when
you don't
you're
really
talking
appreciate
about
what's going on in that.
There's guys out there in audiophile land that's taken 5 years or better to get their room locked in.
Right.
And to try to do that amount of work in a night is hard to do.
Yeah. So that was a very interesting day, and so we spent the afternoon doing that. Then we went and checked into a hotel, and then we went and ate some dinner, and then we came back to the hotel. Spent more time locking it in, just doing some fine adjustments with the.
And it's ironic because halfway through the show, these guys, this is how new the speakers are. the tweeters actually finished breaking in during the show, and and it warmed them up some.
Yeah,
I'm having to change out and put about an ohm or so less resistor value in the L pad now, because of that. So it did me a favor by finished breaking in the speaker.
Yeah, that's nice. And then like the next morning we had a little bit of time, actually quite a bit of time on Thursday morning because the show didn't start until 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. I don't know where that came from.
But we had a lot of time that morning, and we actually had a couple of guys come in and take a listen, and we actually made a couple more adjustments based on that. So it was really a nice amount of time to set up, and I'm not sure you get that at every show, but we had a nice amount of time.
You don't. A lot of times the bigger shows, they'll allow you a certain amount of time, and you can't have the volume high, so you got to really watch yourself. This one, they let you kind of have at it.
Yeah, we kind of have free.
And the first day, Thursday, I was nervous as all get out, so I kind of and that preamp, that Amps and Sound preamp, had a sensitive volume control on my highly sensitive speakers, and we were playing it too loud on Thursday simply because we were both nervous.
Yeah, we were a little bit at odds on Thursday, the two of us. I was spending most of my time outside the room. You were spending most of your time inside the room, and I was in a constant state of going in and saying, it's too loud. And Doug's like, well, they're telling me to turn it up. I'm like, just chill, man. So anyway, we kind of came up with a method for Friday and Saturday I think worked really well. And I think everybody was just like at peace with what was going on. And we had a lot of people walking into the room and staying. I had all 3 days, really.
Yeah, I had several revisits multiple times by people.
We had guys that showed up every day and multiple times each day.
I'm not sure I think part of it was in disbelief that a speaker in that price range could have performed like that compared to some of the other products there. And I'm not knocking any product there. There was some great stuff.
At the price point of the electronics that were there.
Yeah, I think that's
that was the cool thing.
Even bigger was the fact that the whole system was about 20 grand somewhere is what I
with the speakers included.
Yeah. Speakers and electronics was $20,000, and we were sounding better than as good or better than some of the rooms with
according to what a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I didn't. This is not me saying this. This is people that came into the room said that, I just visited a room that was $250,000 and didn't sound like this. So I mean that's a testament to everybody involved, really. The Shelly, the cables, Prosper cables, my speakers. I think we, as a package, offer a value for the buck that's hard to beat.
Yeah. So it was a really outstanding experience. I got to stand outside the room, which is an interesting place because number one, I'm trying to funnel people into the room that may try to pass it by.
Right.
And I was at a great spot because we're at a corner. Like people had to go around the corner to get to here or there, and it's like, hey, why don't you just come on in here? And so the location did not hurt, but the best part was watching people come out. We had the guy from Monster Cable, the guy that actually started Monster Cable. He went in there with his wife. I've been told that he can be pretty persnickety and difficult to please. Mm-hmm. The man came out there with a smile on his face. His wife looked at him and goes, "That's a great system." That's cool. We had Danny Ritchie come.
Yeah, one of my heroes.
Let's talk about Danny Ritchie. That was pretty cool.
One of my personal heroes because he understands speaker design down to almost the molecular level. You know what I mean? And I understand he's polarizing to a lot of people because he calls a lot of people out. But at the same time, he knows speaker design. Yeah. And I learned a lot from him through the years. And he sat in there and loved them.
Yeah. And when he gives you feedback, that was the cool part to me. I sat back there. I was a little bit of a fly.
And he said exactly what I had in my head, that the top end was a little pulled back compared to what he's used to. Well, just so happens the tweeters finished breaking, the compressor drivers, for those that believe in break-in, finished breaking in, and when compressor drivers break in, they kind of relax. Yeah. When they relax, they get a little softer sounding. So the volume, the actual output level of the tweeters lessened during the show. Yeah. When I got them back home, I had to switch them by over an ohm of LPAD because of that. So he was right. And he called it out, and that's great because when I got him back home, I sensed the same thing.
Yeah, and the nice thing is you're getting that feedback from him. You're getting feedback from all these other people that are audiophiles. And what I love about you and how you've approached NewTaik is you understand that the design that you've come up with, while it is a great design, may have some things that aren't working with other people's ears just yet, and you will take that feedback and do something with it. Mm-hmm. Some people would just be like, big. Well, I guess that's just not your speaker. But you've actually done the homework. Like, I've gone into your house and said, Doug, I don't like the way this is working. And you're just like, oh, let me grab this out of my little toolbox, and you go throw something in the crossover, and we're both like, that's a huge improvement.
Yeah. Well, so, it's just like the tweeter thing. I didn't take it as a bad thing.
Right.
It was something he noticed, and it's something when I got the speaker. It took me getting the speakers back home to notice it myself.
And know it for sure.
When I set them up in my home system, where that's my comfort level, I heard it immediately. I'm like, the treble's soft.
Yeah.
And it was because the compressor drivers finally relaxed, and when they relaxed, they get a little softer sounding.
So that's really cool, and so you're going to make that adjustment with this, and it'll be
go down the road. It'll be good.
Now that means that some people are going to have to deal with break-in with that.
Speaker,
which you're going to have to deal with
any speaker.
Anyway.
And if you believe in it or not, that's up to you. But when you're talking about an electrical and mechanical function, which is a speaker driver, it has a period where it
if there's movement, there's movement, physical movement, there has to be break-in.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was, in general, I'd say it was a pretty great weekend.
Yeah.
I was really very impressed with people coming out of the room and what they were saying. They don't have to say good things. They don't, like, you're the designer. They're probably going to say something nice to you. You know?
They don't want the confrontation or the chance of it.
But I'm not. Yeah. And they were willing to say whatever they needed to say to me. Yeah. And I had a couple of guys say one thing or another. What was funny was you might have one guy walk out and say, oh, it's a little bright. You have another guy walk in and go, man, I could stand more tweet. So, like, that's a
testament to people's, the fact that, and this is well known in the headphone world especially, is the fact that people's ears are different. They receive different frequencies different. I call it your own personal frequency reception response, because it is basically your ears have a frequency response that it receives. You know, it's got, and some people have way sensitive treble. Some people have lower sensitive treble. Same with the mid, same with the bass. And that's why there's so many speaker products out there. That's exactly why there's so many headphones products out there, because there's people that like different things. Yeah. Some of it's just personal preference. I don't like as much treble. It doesn't bother me. I just don't happen to like it. Yeah. And that's fine, you know.
Yeah. And I thought it was also cool. You got to meet some of the ABX guys, like you.
Yeah, a couple of them came in.
That you've never gotten to meet.
Face to face. Yeah, it was guys I've seen a picture of an icon.
Shout out to those guys.
You know, a little icon on Discord.
Profile picture. Yeah.
But they liked them. They had some constructive criticism, or what you'd call, one of the guys had critique, and. It was fine. That's great, and everything was great. Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Yeah, I was very pleased with the show, and I thought Dallas did a nice job hosting it. So
they did. Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah, we really enjoyed it. So anyway, we will be talking about probably the Broen streamer in our next episode from Ferrum. That is getting ready to be released. They've been kind of promising it for a while, but it looks like we're looking at an August release now. So it is August 1st today while we're filming this. So I'm hoping to see that very soon. I have one on order, and I'm looking forward to getting it into the shop. So until next time, thanks for joining us on Signal Pads. I'm Ryan.
I'm Doug.
And we will see you next time.